Okay, let's talk about cybersecurity strategy. Because for the first time in over a decade, the official playbook has been completely torn up and rewritten. And this isn't some minor tweak, changing a few words here and there. Nope. This is a fundamental shift in how we're supposed to think about defending our digital world. So what does this new playbook actually mean for you? Let's get into it.
I mean, just think about that for a second. It's kind of ridiculous, right? You wouldn't want an alarm telling you about a fire after your house is already a pile of ashes. You'd want to know about the smoke, that first little spark, the very first sign that something's wrong. The whole point isn't just to deal with the disaster, it's to stop it from ever happening in the first place.
And yet, believe it or not, for years, that's pretty much exactly how we've been approaching cybersecurity. We've basically been waiting for the building to be on fire, the data breach, the ransomware lockdown, and then we scramble the fire trucks. But our digital world has become a tinderbox, and that reactive approach, well, it's just not going to cut it anymore.
I mean, the change in scale is just staggering. Think back to 2012, when the old playbook was written. A major cyber incident was a rare thing. Today, it feels like we hear about a new one every single day. And getting back on your feet, it used to take days. Now, as the new guide from NIST points out, we're talking weeks, sometimes even months, all because of how complex these modern attacks have gotten.
So what this all means is that the old rules, they're broken. They just don't apply to the world we're living in now. Let's take a look at why.
This here was the old model. It looks neat, right? A nice, clean circle. You prepare, you detect something, you contain it, and then you have a post-incident meeting to talk about what you learned. It was this very step-by-step process, but it was designed for a world where attacks were these isolated, kind of predictable events.
And this quote from the new NIST document just hits the nail on the head. The whole model was built on the idea that incident response was something you did every once in a while. It was intermittent. It was never designed for a world where the pressure is constant, relentless, 24/7.
So the bottom line is this. When you're up against modern persistent threats, we're talking sophisticated ransomware groups or massive supply chain attacks, this whole start and stop cycle is completely, totally broken. You can't just react anymore. You have to be thinking 3 steps ahead all the time.
Which finally brings us to the solution. It's a fundamental change in how we think about defense, and it's all laid out in this new framework from NIST. So, the new Cybersecurity Framework, or CSF 2.0, isn't just a little update. It's a complete reimagining of the whole thing. It basically says that dealing with an incident isn't some separate reactive job. No, it's an essential, ongoing piece of managing your organization's entire cybersecurity risk.
This right here is the new mantra. It's not about having an incident response team locked away in a server room somewhere, just waiting for a red light to flash. It's about weaving these principles of response into the very DNA of how an organization works, from the C-suite all the way down.
So how does this actually work? Well, the new model is built around 6 key ideas, and it all starts with the stuff you do before an attack even happens. This is the proactive part, let's call it the city planning of cybersecurity. Okay, so the first 3 functions are govern, identify, and protect. Think of these as the foundation you build your house on. Govern is all about setting the strategy, the rules of the road. Identify is about knowing what you have and what risks you're facing. And protect, that's putting the actual defenses in place, your firewalls, your encryption, all that good stuff. And the key is, these aren't one-time jobs. They're things you have to be doing constantly.
Let's jump back to our fire analogy. This is the difference between just having a fire department on standby versus actually designing a city with fire codes, sprinkler systems, and fire hydrants everywhere. Govern is your city's fire code. Identify is knowing which buildings are made of wood and which are made of brick. And protect is actually going in and installing those sprinklers. It's city planning, not just firefighting. See the difference?
But of course, even with the absolute best planning in the world, bad things are still going to happen. So the second half of the framework is all about what you do when that alarm finally does go off.
These are the next 3 functions: detect, respond, and recover. This is go time. This is the action phase, when the sirens are blaring and the clock is ticking. You've got to find the problem, you have to take quick action to stop the bleeding, and then, and this is so important, you have to get your systems back online and get back to business. Now, these might look like the old steps, but the huge difference is that now they're built on that solid foundation of preparation. So to put it simply, you've got this continuous preparation and learning phase driven by govern, identify, and protect. And then you have your in-the-moment incident response, which is detect, respond, and recover.
It's a much more complete, holistic model, a constant cycle of getting better and better.
But here's the thing. This new framework, it isn't just about flowcharts and new processes. It's really about people.
A really huge piece of this new way of thinking is realizing that cybersecurity isn't just some tech problem that a few experts in the IT department can solve. It's an organizational challenge. It takes a team. I mean, think about it. If a new phishing scam is targeting your finance team, that's not just an IT problem, is it? It's a finance problem. It's a training problem. It's a communication problem. It's everybody's problem.
So who's on this modern response team? Well, the list might surprise you. It's not just the tech folks anymore. You've got leadership setting the strategy, you need legal to handle the compliance side, public affairs to manage the story, HR to deal with any insider issues. Heck, even your cloud providers are a critical part of the team now. It's a true cross-functional effort.
And this kind of teamwork is absolutely essential. When a crisis hits, you need your legal team ready to go, you need HR ready to handle employee situations. It's like a team sport. Effective defense means everyone knows their position and is ready to play their part. So, what does this all add up to? Well, it's a complete and total mindset shift. It's really the difference between thinking of this as a sprint versus a marathon.
We're moving away from that old idea of a short, intense sprint to just fix one problem. Instead, real effective defense is a never-ending marathon. It's a continuous loop of preparing, responding, and, probably most importantly, always learning and improving, day in and day out.
And that really brings us to the final, critical question you have to ask yourself. The threats have changed. The playbook has finally been updated to match this new reality. The only question left is, are you ready to use it? Because in the world of cybersecurity today, you're either prepared or you're a target.